Yo, what it is. It's your boy Norms, and you already know it's Wednesday. We going at 10 a.m., but today was a little delayed. I apologize. I'm actually a lot delayed, so I want to apologize to the fans. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you already know we on at about 10 a.m. Today, a little bit later, 10:40. I will not be joined by my lovely co-host, Christine. She's a little busy today, but she'll be back either tomorrow or Friday, so don't sweat it. But we got a great show ahead of you guys. More drama coming down from the Benavidez situation with Bivol. Got offered $8 million. We're going to get into that. Bivol did not take it. Mercado taking shots at Richardson Hitchens and Cambosis. Lamont Roach does an interesting interview where he says he didn't get paid by Gervonta Davis. We're going to get into that and all of that after we come back from the intro. You know how we give it up. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Yeah. What it is, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm letting everybody get into here. Shout out to everybody that supports me. Shout out to my guy, Ray Jackson. Shout out to my guy, Jamel Herring. Shout out to all the fans that are out there supporting. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit the notifications button. Donations are appreciated. I'm actually over here tweeting out the link. If you guys can do the same so we can get into the show, please do so. You know where we at on Twitter or X at StreetStarNORBE, on YouTube, youtube.com/Norbs All Network, one word. But it's been interesting news this week in regards to pretty much a lot of fights being there was a lot of purse bids going on, a lot of things going on, transpiring within the boxing community that are very, very interesting, to say the least. My bad, I have my dogs in here. One of my dogs just had surgery. Get out. You know what I mean? He got his nuts removed. But these are things that happen. You know what I mean? It just oh, no, that ain't it. I gotta learn my soundboard, by the way.
I find you physically.
No, whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna put a number up here to scroll down for a number of the people that want to call in or whatnot. Let's have this conversation. Actually, I don't even have that. But we're gonna hold on. Nope. We don't even have that. But anyways, as we were going today, yesterday, David, actually the WBC put out a statement in regards to David Benavidez, and I actually got it translated for those that don't understand Spanish. Here you go.
He decides to leave the title instead of fighting Benavidez. Everyone has the right. Benavidez, had been offered $8 million. Very good. More considering that in the previous fight it won 2.7. Against better leads. In the second, he won less than 3. Benavidez offered him 8 and decided to leave the title. Well, we wish you luck. Our champion is David Benavidez.
Hey, this year I'm getting ahead of myself. But it could have been already thought of a fight for Benavidez because such a good fighter can earn a little bit.
Well, yesterday was the day of the auctions, as there is probably no important fights are coming. There is a lot of talent in weight, semi-complete in cruiserweight, and Benavidez has a lot of offers. Hey, bro.
Shout out to those out there. So basically, and shout out to my man Charlie Buffett. He said, "Yeah, no, it's big up. I'm glad you got you just do from your old partners. You were instrumental in battle rap. I appreciate that, guys, and I appreciate the support. I need to translate that support to here, but appreciate you, Charlie." Apparently, they said they offered Bivol $8 million. Bivol turned it down, and we're pretty much left at that. I mean, listen, guys, I think it's a lot deeper, in my opinion, than Bivol. I don't think Bivol took the fight because people say, "Oh, he ducked." I don't believe Bivol is ducking anything, to be honest with you. I believe that Bivol is following suit. I think he's following the person that is giving him the most money. I feel like it's a situation where Turkey Al-Asik was kind of like, you know what, screw him, forget him. I mean, it's been well documented that they did fly in Benavidez to try to make a fight with him and Bivol. or the winner of the last fight, which I found really odd because I felt like it should have been an automatic rematch, and it didn't. Apparently it didn't go well, and it didn't go well to the point where pretty much Turkey Al-Asi kind of flexed his muscle and was like, well, screw him. I don't need him or whatnot, in a sense, and just moved on from the fight. So I don't find it a coincidence that, that he backed out of the fight. So, it's unfortunate for Benavidez because Benavidez is a hell of a fighter. You know what I mean? And, hold on, I'm trying to see what's going to happen. I'm trying to, hold on, what's that? I'm sorry to lose track. Yeah, so it's unfortunate for Benavidez because, again, Benavidez, and I said this yesterday, so I don't mean to reiterate it, but he's in a situation where, he's looking for the big fights. He wants to make them happen. And at 168, he pretty much topped out and he couldn't get Canelo Alvarez, which everyone clamors to get, right? He couldn't get Canelo. Turned to the next best thing, gets Benavidez, then goes up to then goes up to 175, says, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go get the belt up here. But now Turkey Al-Asi pretty much has these individuals, in his, I don't want to say in his pocket, but he has really good relations with them. And I think Bivol kind of just said, you know what, I'd rather just do the trilogy because, and I don't think it's ducking in a way because, listen, those fights with Benavidez were very tough fights with Bivol. Bivol wanted to take a lot of time off in between that fight. He did not. I think it's more so Turkey Al-Asi pulling the trigger and saying, hey, you know what? Benavidez is not part of the cool table. Let's pull the rug underneath him. Screw him. And it's unfortunate because this is what we're dealing with boxing at this point. And Benavidez happens to be the odd man out in this situation. And it's unfortunate more so because, I mean, who does Benavidez fight at 175? And, I've heard the WC make statements of there's a lot of guys out there to fight. Who of notoriety that we want to see Benavidez fight, not named Canelo, Benavidez, or Bivol? And those are the three guys that I think people tend to want to see at this point. I'm Hungry Femi says, you think the big fights matter? Do you think fighters should run the bag up at this time? You think I think big fights definitely matter, especially when you're trying to get big bags. You know what I'm saying? Benavidez is not an individual that's a big draw in a sense like a Gervonta or a Canelo, and he's still kind of establishing himself in the boxing world as a star. He is not a star; he's a talent, one of the potential stars. But without a dancing partner, he is not going to sell. And it seems as if the dancing partners that he needs in order to make to become superstar status, he can't get for whatever reason. And again, I don't know if it's his dad. I don't know if it's Benavidez. I don't know exactly what's transpiring. And, all I can do is pretty much go by what I've seen in regards to his interviews. But whatever, those types usually make classics. Absolutely. And this is what Benavidez had to say with all the drama.
And you went in there, you beat the heck out of everybody. So that's exactly what I want to do. I want to follow like everybody else. Like I said, I'm here to have my name known for generations. With me, I want to fight the best fighters because I already know what happens when I get in the ring with a great fighter. The best out of me comes out. You know what I mean? And this is what I want. This is what we're here for. We want to give the tough fights. I don't want no easy fights. I want to go in there and leave it all out in the ring and people say, wow, David is an amazing fighter. He doesn't shy away from nobody. He really lets it all out for everybody to see. And I've always been like that. You know what I mean? I feel like now this is what I want to solidify in my career, that, like the old school fighters. It's like how you were. You fought the best. You never dodged nobody. And you went in there, you beat the heck out of everybody. So that's exactly what I want to do. I want to follow in the footsteps of great fighters and Hall of Fame fighters like yourself.
So you feel like, for sure, when the competition is better, I know I'm a rise.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want that? You know what I mean? And, Benavidez pretty much comes out and he says he wants to be that guy. He wants to be that fighter. But how do you become that without the dance partner? And it almost seems as if, he's pretty much getting blackballed at this situation in regards to getting the fights. And it's going to be really hard for him because, at the end of the day, we're talking the names, right? We're talking the names. The names are pretty much in bed with Turkey. David Flatt, of course, the man loves his bro. Comes out and says Bivol didn't want that. So it has nothing to do with the smoke. I mean, you just fought 2 wars with better beef. I think it simply has to do with whatever transpired in the meetings he had with Turkey Al-Asik. And, you know, everybody knows Turkey Al-Asik is out there to make everything in regards to the ring magazine, the ring belt, and he's not shy in showing his displeasure. Whatever transpired in those meetings rubbed him the wrong way, and I think pretty much Turkey Al-Asik told Bivol to just move on, screw him, who cares? And it's unfortunate because, you know, Benavidez is a great fighter, but does he have the fights that he wants? And it's tough when 3 of the bigger fights that can. 3 of the bigger, yeah, you can tap it. Hold on. I gotta click on this. 3 of the bigger fights that can be made aren't being made. Flat, what's your actually, you know what, Flat, give me a second. Hold on. Just click the link. I'm gonna post it in the chat right now. 3 of the bigger fights that can be made for him are off the table. And it's unfortunate. Hold on, let me bring on my man real quick. My guy, I don't know where he went. He's fixing his camera. I'm gonna let him fix his camera real quick. But it's unfortunate for Benavidez that the politics, in my opinion, are getting in the way of the fight. I don't think Bivol is scared of Benavidez, but at the same time, you're gonna take care of who takes care of your family. And Turkey Al-Asik has those relationships, and I think it's begun already in regards to, hold on one second, y'all. Jamel, let me know when you're good. You good, Jamel? I don't know if he's on. Hold on one second. I'm about to have my man Jamel Herring actually join the chat. Give me a second. Hold on. It's unfortunate again because I feel like the Dana White deal, the TKO deal, and then the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. We're seeing people join forces. We're seeing a lot of nervousness within organizations, promotional companies, and it's going to continue to grow. I don't think that Turkey Al-Asik is out there to make any friends at this point. I feel as if you're either with or against them at this point, and that's what we're facing in boxing. Jamel, you there? Can I see you? I don't know. It looks black, but once I see you, I'll bring you on. But this is what's going on right now in boxing, and it's very, very unfortunate. And Benavidez happens to be getting the short end of the stick. Listen, I'm a Benavidez fan. I like the guy. I don't like the way he got the belt with them pretty much handing it to him. I don't like that. But what's right is right. And what's right is, he should be getting these fights. He should be the guy fighting, in my opinion, the winner of Benavidez Bivol. That's how it should have happened. Benavidez should have gotten an automatic rematch, and then possibly, what's his face? Jamel, you there? I don't know what's going on with Jamel. But, it's unfortunate. I'm trying to get Jamel on right now. My man Jamel Herring, he wants to give his say in this situation. I also got my man Flat in the building. I don't know where he went. I put the link in the chat. So we're trying to get that going. But we must go on. I'm going to play the Benavidez statement. Actually, I'm going to play the WBC statement one more time. And then I'm gonna try to get these guys on. Give me a second.
He decides to leave the title instead of fighting Benavidez. Everyone has the right. Benavidez had been offered $8 million. Very good. More considering that in the previous fight it won 2.7. Against better leads. In the second he won less than 3. Benavidez offered him 8 and decided to leave.
Hold on one second. My man Jamel Herring is in the building. Jamel, what up, brother?
What's up, bro?
Chilling. I was just actually playing the audio from the WBC. I think they made a statement in regards to Benavidez and Bivol, and pretty much saying they offered Bivol $8 million and he turned it down and pretty much vacated the belt. Now, I got my thoughts on the situation. First of all, I don't think, and this is my opinion, I think it should have been an automatic rematch. I thought they were kind of screwing over Better Beef in the first place, right? That's what I believe. But once they started the negotiations with Benavidez, I believe whatever transpired between him and Turkey Al-Asik is what caused this fight not to happen.
Right.
I don't think it has anything to do with Bivol not wanting to fight him or scared. I simply think he's not trying to bite the hand that feeds him, in my opinion. Oh shit, I don't know where the hell Jamel went. She just disappeared. He'll be right back. Give me a second, guys. My man, I'm hungry says, so there's a fight coming, but he must dominate. I mean, he's dominant. I mean, there's not many other guys that dominate the way David Benavidez dominates. No, my time is at 10 a.m. Roland. I had a couple situations this morning, so that's why I ended up starting late. I apologize. The start time is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. I definitely appreciate you clocking, share the wealth, let people know. But again, I'm waiting for Jamel to get back on before we go into the next subject. But I feel as if, in that regard, that's what we're facing right now, and it's very, very unfortunate. I appreciate you that this is happening in boxing. That people that don't even lace the gloves or even put their lives at risk are causing a lot of problems. And listen, with this deal with TKO, this is only going to get more confusing and more. And it's war at this point. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody's being nice, but everybody is pretty much at odds at this point. I'm gonna bring my man Jamel. Jamel, you good now?
Backing up, man. But now I heard what you were saying with the whole the Bivol and Benavidez situation. It's crazy, but
what's your take on it?
I don't know. I wouldn't I know people trying to call it a duck, but I wouldn't call it a duck because I'm pretty sure there's a probably even bigger lucrative deal on the table in terms of him fighting Bivol fighting Benavidez for a third time.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And like I said, I like but I respect how my man David, how he handled it. Like, he didn't go out there and, I ain't see him go out there and bash anybody. It was just like, it's a shame it didn't happen, but he's still going to go. He still wanted to make the best fights possible and continue being the champion, carry himself as a champion.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for David that he's on the wrong side of the fence in this situation, in my opinion, because I think all of this is because of, whatever transpired with the talks between him and Turkey Al-Asik. It's well known that Turkey Al-Asik wasn't feeling the situation, and he kind of shitted on David. And I think this is a way to really stick it to him and say, you know what, you're not going to get the fight. And it kind of leaves Benavidez in a tough situation. You can't get the Canelo fight, right? Now he's taking Bivol off the table and possibly even better beef. So where do you turn from here if you're Benavidez?
You gotta just basically take what's available. So, I mean, it's not the best answer you may want to hear, but
yeah,
I mean, what can you do? You gotta stay busy. You don't want to be inactive. So you gotta basically take the best. You gotta basically take what's offered to you. What's on the table. It might not be the biggest name, but you're still making a living, still staying active, and over time, your progress will amount to something. So, but I mean, it just sucks. Like I said, of course, he wanted to, he moved up for the bigger fights, and one of those guys in terms of Benavidez, Bivol, but it is.
No, I mean, I'm with you, but it's just, I feel like, and I think people are kind of like, they use duck as the, I don't think it was a duck again, right? And I feel like this TKO deal, and you've spoken about it recently, I think this TKO deal is shaking a lot of shit up in boxing. It's making people choose sides. You're with Turkey, you're against him. Oscar's trying to he's playing the fence. You have Top Rank trying to figure it out. They're teaming up with PBC. He's against the sanctioning bodies with the belts. It's like a clusterfuck at this point. Like, we don't know what's going on. And Benavidez is not on the side that has the bag at this point, in my opinion.
Right.
So, it's really, really unfortunate, man. And, as much as I think this is a good thing for boxing, for the future, for the immediate future, it's not that good, in my opinion. A lot of fights aren't going to happen because of who's rocking with who at this point.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But again, like I said, I want to see my guy David in those type of fights. But boxing is it's a business. It's a business, and like you said, it's all about who. Right now, it's all about who you align to.
Yeah.
And so forth. So you just gotta just wait. Sadly, you just gotta take it for what it is and just sit back and wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because Benavidez is such a good fighter. He's such an entertaining fighter. He lays it on the line.
Right.
And it seems every time that he tries to maneuver, something happens. He thought he had Canelo. That gets blocked. And Canelo doesn't want to take the fight. He goes to 175. He's being flown out to Saudi. That doesn't happen. It's unfortunate for David because what names are at what names do you think at 175 outside of Bivol and Benavidez that really can kind of get him what he wants? Or is it even possible he goes up?
No, I can't call it right now. 175, man. I don't think he needs to go up. He just went up. You know what I mean? I don't see what you gonna go to cruiserweight, and who's at cruiserweight?
Yeah,
cruiserweight is really known for that division where guys stay for a while before they move to heavyweight. So
yeah,
what's for him to do at cruiserweight? I mean,
yeah, it's unfortunate for David.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, if anything, he could maybe, but he had issues with the weight like that going to 68. So it's like he's in a no man's land right now. So what can he do? But try to keep his cool and just be patient, I guess. But even him being impatient, as you see with the Canelo situation, that's still not going to guarantee him anything there. So it sucks.
Yeah, no, it is, and it's unfortunate because he is one of the few fighters that wants all the smoke. That he really wants to fight the big fights, and he can't get a break. It sucks, man. Like you're right. Maybe, who? 168 he's not going to do. Is he going to wait for some? He just had his biggest fight with Morrell, right?
Right.
But now we want to see bigger. We want to see him with a belt. And let me ask you a question. You think it's a possibility he does get the winner of the trilogy?
Maybe not. Don't be surprised if somebody like Canelo swoops in and gets the winner of the trilogy or whatever. So,
and that's been scheduled for February. He's supposed to fight Bivol.
That's what I'm saying. So, it's one of those things where David just got to continue just being David. That's all he can do. That's all he can't. And like you said, it's all about who he's with. Like you pointed out earlier, it feels like if you were Turkey, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. If not, you got to just make do wherever you're at. Yeah,
man, it's unfortunate. And, it doesn't stop with Benavidez. You seen the situation with Shakur. Shakur saying that he was promised X amount of dollars to fight Zepeda, and now that's not on the table, and now it's strictly with Turkey. Or I don't know if Turkey even wants to make the fight with De La Hoya's fighter. It's just a lot of shit that's just going on right now. Yo, I got my man Flat on. You mind if I bring him on?
Bring him on.
Right. Flat, what's up, man? You on with my man Jamel Herring? Just my man David Flat.
What's good, y'all?
What's up?
What do you think about do you think it's Benavidez being blackballed? What do you think about the situation?
Nah, he not being blackballed. Now I'm saying, like, and this is what I was trying to tell you. That's why I was trying to tell you on Facebook, right? I wouldn't necessarily say I have a dog in the fight like Scully because he trained Benavidez.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying, but David is a close friend of mine, bro. Now I'm saying that's somebody I spend time with, somebody I spar with, train with. Now I'm saying, so I could tell you he wants the tough fights, bro. Now I'm saying, so you gotta X out anybody scared of anybody. None of them. No fighter is scared of no fighter, bro. Know what I'm saying? It all come down to getting paid right, getting what you want for the fight. Know what I mean? Stuff like that. But David want those tough fights, bro. I don't think he's being blackballed. I feel like, they know how dangerous he is, bro. Right now, and a lot of people tell me I'm bugging, but I know what I've been in the ring with. I've been in the ring with Canelo, and I've been in the ring with David. Know what I'm saying? Listen, David is a different animal, bro. He's different, bro. Know what I'm saying? So I don't blame them for not wanting to fight him, bro. And it's not that they scared of him. It's just that they like if you fought 2 fights with Bivol or you fought 2 fights with Benavidez, you're not gonna jump to fight David next. You're not gonna do that, bro. Know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta remember your health is at risk, your brain. Know what I'm saying? Like, you know what David coming with. Know what I'm saying? So I don't blame them for not fighting him. I don't blame Bivol for not wanting to fight him. Know what I'm saying? My only issue was y'all saying he didn't earn that belt, bro. To me,
what was said. I don't like somebody being emailed the belt. That's just
No, but no, that's
he won
part
the
of the
belt.
game, bro. Once you enter
It's
them,
not.
you champion in recession, bro. Once you champion recession, you basically have, bro. It's not the fighter's fault that they created an interim belt, bro. So you can't tell a fighter, you can't say a fighter didn't earn that, bro. You can't say that, bro.
No.
You could say, yo, it's messed up that the WBC and the sanctioning bodies and all of them is making interim belts, but you can't discredit a fighter and say he didn't earn that when he fought David Morrell. He beat David Morrell, who probably would have beat 90% of other fighters, bro. Know what I'm saying? That night. He beat him, bro. So he earned that interim title, bro.
He
Know what I'm
had the
saying?
interim. He didn't earn the WBC
Okay,
belt.
But he did,
who
though,
would
bro.
like to see him fight then for the belt? Because like I'm with him, like we don't make the rules. Like I get what you
No,
saying.
Thank you, bro.
Jamal,
Thank you, bro.
I'm with you. I'm with you. But only in boxing, you don't have to win a belt to actually
But-
win a belt. That's
That's not his
absolutely
fault,
absurd.
though, bro.
That's not his
Hey,
fault, bro.
Make it a tournament. There's nobody else. Come on, Jamal.
I'd like to see him fight though. So I'm asking, who's he going to fight for the belt? Then if that's the case.
No, I don't think you should. I don't think it should be vacated. Whoever's number one or number two at that, I think that should be a tournament between them two and fight for the belt.
All right.
I don't even think Benavidez likes that situation.
No, I'm
Like,
sure he would
but
prefer
it's
to have fought for it, of
Yeah.
course.
So like he's getting dragged for it, and it's not like he said, "Hey, you threw the belt, give me the belt." He
Yeah.
did.
No,
They
I'm with you.
automatic, boom, boom.
Yeah. No. Listen, I think David is a great fighter. I'm a fan of David. I'm one of the few people that have him as my top 10 pound for pound. A lot of people don't. They leave him off all the time. David is that guy.
Right.
But I don't care if it's Boots getting emailed the belt, Gervonta getting emailed the belt. I don't like it. I just feel like that it should be the top two guys.
I respect that, but I don't feel like as the fighter should get criticized for anything.
Oh yeah, no.
Take that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Take that with the sanctioning body. Like the fighter don't.
Right.
Tank say he didn't want the belt, and they still gave him the belt.
Yo, bro, this what I was trying to tell Nobes, right? I say, oh, Nobes, you can't say that. That's disrespectful to a fighter because, yo, your gripe is with the sanctioning bodies, bro.
Yeah,
you can't tell a fighter. You can't tell a fighter he didn't earn that belt. You can't tell him that, bro. Because a fighter might lose his mind if you say that to him, bro.
Yeah, I never said he didn't earn the belt. I said he didn't win the belt. That's two different things.
He didn't win the belt. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Listen, I love David Benavidez. Don't get it fucked up. That is my guy. I love Benavidez. But I don't like the fact that people are going to be able to say things about him. I believe he's getting blackballed. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's right. He should have gotten, to me personally, he should have got the winner of the trilogy. I don't think he should have got preference over Better Beef. That's where I think Iceman Scully's beef is, because he's like, yo, why are we not getting the trilogy after we lost the belt to them? When we won, we had to give him an automatic rematch. I don't believe that's right. So I believe that's the gripe in that situation. But
this what I was saying. I was saying the same thing with Canelo, right? They stripped him of his IBF, gave it to Skull, right? He didn't win. He didn't win that belt.
He shouldn't have done it either. I'm with you. I think.
But look, no, hear me out though. Look what Canelo doing. He's gonna go. He's gonna fight Skull in May. He's gonna win his belt back, right?
They're gonna fight.
So what's the difference with Bitter Beef and Bivol? They stripped the belt. Win the belt back from Benavidez if you feel you could do it.
Listen, I'm with you 1,000. No. I'm with you 1,000% in terms of they should have given him the belt. Skull should have never been handed. He should have to fight for the belt. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of boxers out there that laying their life on the lines, right? Like you guys know, Jamel, you've done it for years. Flat, you're a professional. When you don't even get the opportunity to fight because maybe you don't have the profile of a Benavidez and you don't have the profile of a Gervonta or a Boots Ennis. It's all politics at this point because you believe you could get more money off of the 3%. It should be more competitiveness.
I don't agree with Mauricio. You know, he's putting too much emotion and emphasis in it, man. Like, you just the sanctioned body president. I get that, but like, you know,
it's deeper.
You can see he gets easily triggered and offended when things don't go his way.
No, but it's also I really believe that war is brewing behind the scenes. Turkey honestly came out and said, I don't want those belts on the stage, Canelo.
He a threat.
Yeah.
Man, a threat.
And listen, that conversation that happened with Benavidez listen, he does not back down to anybody, whether you're a fighter or a promoter. You know what I'm saying? And whatever transpired, he didn't bend the knee, he didn't kiss the ring, and Turkey Al-Asik, I believe, is making him pay for it. Just being honest, I believe that.
I feel like as much as it's bad for the sport, it kind of make it kind of make the sport a little more competitive. That everybody not on. I don't know, because it's like it's bad on one hand that everybody not on one accord, but then it's kind of good because I'm not with the whole everybody being buddy, even the sanctioning bodies, because then that's when they start coming together and putting plans together. It's like, all right, the WBC could Mauricio Suleiman could put a play together, but we still go for do what we do for the IBF, the WBA, WBO. If all of them sticking together, that's when it'll get ugly, bro. Know what I'm saying? Because then I feel like they'll all be on one accord and be like, all right, we gonna strip him for all 3 of these belts, all 4 of these belts. Know what I'm saying? So I kind of like that they not on one accord a little bit.
Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna get really confusing because everybody's kind of choosing sides. PBC's now trying to join forces with Top Rank. We see Matchroom and these guys sign an exclusive deal with the Zone.
I mean, at the end of the day, everything has its pros and cons, though, bro. Like, is that a bad thing now that he, you know what I'm saying, he basically forcing all these, you know what I'm saying, promotional bodies to work with each other and make the fights to keep fans tuned in? For the longest, remember, like, just 5 years ago, we had people talking about something, you're on the wrong side of the street, you're on the wrong side of the street. Now he's bringing all those roads together. You know, make the best. You know, you got to keep it competitive. If you know, like it goes the same thing even with like wrestling. When fucking when Vince McMahon had all, you know, everything under one umbrella, it got stale, it got boring. But when you start building other rival promotions, you know what I'm saying?
Good point.
You see, he's bringing the wrestlers from other promotional bodies to keep it entertaining.
Right.
So my question is this: is it more beneficial for fighters now to say, you know what, maybe I don't sign with a promotional company for long term?
It depends. Like you just said, but you said it earlier. Everybody don't got the name of a Ryan Garcia or a Tank or Canelo. So like it goes hand in hand. Sometimes you might be a good fighter, but you might not have the following, you know what I'm saying, that matches up with your skill set. So you're gonna need that promotional body to be a promoter and promote. You know, like a Tank or a Canelo, they can promote themselves. Like you see Canelo, he can jump from one fight he's over here with Eddie Hearn, the next fight he's over here with Al Heyman. So he can do that because of his name. But like you said, every fighter doesn't have that ability where I'm a promoter. So I'm like, nah.
So let me pose this question for you. If you're a new fighter coming up, you don't have the notoriety of being a big amateur in the Olympics. Do you sign with TKO and go and get multiple fights? How do you maneuver?
If they can build you. You know what I mean? If they can build, like I said, I feel like Top Rank, my opinion, Top Rank is probably one of the best in terms of building a prospect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got other promotional bodies that may be better, like, you know, saying Dana White, he was good. Well, he is good in terms of UFC, in terms of, you know, building his little star attractions and putting them on the, you know, places. But it all, like I said, it all depends on your situation, who you are. I mean, for example, look at my man Albert Bell. Albert Bell, for the longest, was mandatory for WBO, but since he didn't have that promotional body behind him in that machine, he kept getting overlooked. And you know, he never got his shot. So then, like I said, he undefeated. I think it's 27-0 undefeated, but he never got that title shot because, you know what I'm saying, he doesn't have the machine behind him. Tank don't need the machine at this point. Tank don't need nobody. You see, Tank, you know, he left Floyd, did, you know what I'm saying, just kept it with Al, and the dude does what he wants to do with his career. But everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have that luxury.
No, absolutely.
I feel like it's two different kind of promotions, right?
Okay.
You got self promotion, know what I mean, and then you got the promoters that's building you up. Like I just this morning I heard Edgar Berlanga talking, right? And he was like how he could have fought William Skull, right, for the IBF, but Eddie Hearn didn't let him. To me, I feel like Eddie Hearn is the worst as far as carrying somebody's career. That's my opinion.
Why do you say that?
From the guys that I personally know that signed with him it's always the same thing, bro. Know what I mean? Like he ain't getting them the proper fights because he want to do what he want to do. Know what I'm saying? Like he want them to do what he want them to do. Know what I'm saying? And me being in this game as long as I've been, I always was taught that the promoter worked for the fighter. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if I want to fight such and such, bro, it's your job to make that happen, bro.
But let me ask you a question. So I get what you're saying, but Eddie Hearn also rebutted that and said, all right, if that's what you want to do, you want to be a partner in the situation, why don't you put up some of the money and we could take losses together?
But promoter not
do
supposed to do that, bro.
But they also don't want to overpay. If you're a businessman, you don't want to pay something, you don't want to pay $3 million for something that's worth $1 million.
That's true though.
It's a double-edged sword at that point.
Like, yeah, I know most promoters, they try to vote. Well, majority of, if not all promoters, their job is to basically save money. They ain't trying to lose money. That's why they was letting Turkey Alex Sheik basically do all that. Look at them at one point. All they had to do was just show up, put their name on the product, and collect the check.
And they were getting paid like a talent fee. They didn't have to put no money up.
Yeah,
that's what makes it crazy.
They had to put talent up.
But Jamel, you know this as somebody that accomplished what you accomplished, bro. You know this, right? A promoter shouldn't take on an assignment if he not built to really, know what I mean, to really put whatever the fighter need behind him. Especially like I look at it like this, right? You got a guy like Edgar Berlanga.
Yeah.
Right? He's a self-made star in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He's a self-made star, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. He built up a following outside of boxing. Boxing, the casual boxing fans don't like him. But outside of boxing, especially coming from New York, now I mean he got to Puerto Rico. He built a big enough following that he got Fat Joe with him. He got rappers, and you know what I mean. He made an image and built a following to where he made himself a star. Know what I'm saying? Then he went 12 with Canelo. Canelo didn't stop him, and they say it was a competitive fight. I don't know what I mean. Like I think he could have did more, but they say it was a competitive fight. But at the end of the day, he built himself to he said he was supposed to get $6 million to fight Skull.
Yeah.
I feel like if Eddie Hearn signed him, bro, he should be able to get him that fight and give him the $6 million, bro.
But you also have to think reality as a fighter. So let's hear. I'm gonna repeat some of Edgar Berlanga's statements to you, right? Let's make me and Munguia happen. It's gonna sell 700,000 pay-per-views. We just sold 700,000 with Canelo. No, we didn't sell 700,000 with Canelo.
Yeah, that's Canelo
did.
Right,
so as a fighter, you have to have a reality in your head. The promoter can't go for what Canelo did. I mean, think about it. You just said New York City. Has he sold out the Garden? No, he's fighting in Orlando, Florida. He's not fighting in the Garden. True. So as a promoter, you have to sit there and be like, hold on, dog.
Okay, you gotta break it down for the fans' terms. What do you mean by the Garden? Are we talking about the Garden or the theater?
Oh yeah, exactly. He sold the theater, which was about 5,000 people, right?
Yeah,
Amanda Serrano has a following. She's about to sell out the Garden when she fights Katie Taylor, right?
Right.
He can't sell out the Garden right now. So, you know, and I like Edgar, and I get what he's doing. He's a very smart kid, but Canelo's numbers and yours aren't the same. And I understand Eddie's, you know, his beef with the situation.
No,
how he handled it.
Eddie's just thinking he's being rational. I mean, I love Edgar. Edgar my guy, but you know, like now if Edgar would have won that fight, and you know what I'm saying, whatever, okay, it's Canelo, then Edgar definitely has a real argument, be like, yo, I did this.
Yes.
I feel like I deserve, and we go from there. But I get what y'all saying. I get what y'all both saying, but like I said, man, like Brock, like I said, the promoter, they looking at everything around the board. Yeah, they got to put up the money. And listen, let's say he goes out and knocks out Caleb Plant. Now we cook it with grease. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like we could go get Munguia. We could probably go to 175 and get Benavidez a big fight.
I think Edgar could sell out the Garden if he fight like a Caleb Plant.
But he needs Caleb Plant.
Yeah, he needs a rock. Yeah, he needs
a good opponent. Yeah, that's a fact.
promoters, they built stories. You know what I'm saying? Him and Caleb, they got a story. I can
That's
understand.
a fact.
I would like to see that fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, ooh, like I came up with Caleb through the amateurs neck. I'm cool with that. Like I would like to see it, but like
Right.
sometimes you need but that's the difference though. Some fighters need a good dance partner. Other guys, like you know what I'm saying, we seen Tank, they complain about who we fight, but they show up. They show
Down.
up at the gate. So you know what I'm saying? Some fighters need a good dance partner, some fighters can just sell on their own.
But that's kind of that's kind of a contradiction though, bro. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Because fucking Tank wouldn't be who he is without Floyd. If Floyd wasn't his promoter out the gate.
All right,
yes and no.
Not. We're gonna keep it because at one point in time, Tank was just with Al Heyman. Like I said, I remember I came up with Tank, but he built like again. You got to keep, but you need a promoter to keep building your name. So the promoter does. He push you out there for different crowds. You know, Floyd was taking them places and yada yada. But Tank, at the end of the day, Tank still got to that level where it's like, okay, you know, I appreciate you, but I really can now move on my own.
Oh yeah, and
it goes that way at times. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes you might need that extra push, but once you get through that door, you know, it's up for you. It's up for you to, you know what I'm saying, to make or break. You know what I mean?
And people love Tank, man. People listen. You could hate him or love him, but that motherfucker's popular. But hold on. Speaking of Tank, I gotta play this for you guys. Tell me what you think about this.
Too well for him.
Did y'all bet?
Oh, we bet and we shook on it.
He paid up?
He changed his number.
You ain't heard from him.
Again, there's a high level of mutual respect for each other. Like I said, we bumped into each other plenty of times. More than the average boxer would see another boxer outside of boxing. So it's cool. Like, he cool with me and I'm cool with him. If we were to see each other outside of our competition, it's what's up, what you want, how you doing.
Even after the fight? Even after that?
He changed his number. I tried to call him. He changed his number. Yeah.
Did y'all bet?
Oh, we bet and we shook on it.
So I played that. Hold on, my fault. I played that basically because I just watched the video, right? Tank just changed trainers apparently. And Tank's not on the internet. Tank's not nowhere else, but it seems like he's in the gym right now. It looks focused. And on the flip side of it, Lamont's kind of enjoying, you know, I wouldn't say the trolling, but he's enjoying the celebrity life right now.
He's doing his press tour.
100%, right?
As you should.
As you should, absolutely. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous now for Lamont because Tank looks, I mean, he don't look like he's playing at this point. Like, I don't know. Jamel, you fought Lamont, you tell me. Come on.
Nah, you gotta understand. Bro, here, flat a fighter too. Like,
yeah.
He got time, man. Like, training camps, you need 6 to 8 weeks. You know, they talking about fighting in June. He still got
21st,
ass in the gym and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, you know, you don't want to, you know, Tank probably just staying loose. He's probably not even, I know Tank right now is not in, like, real training. If anything, we see the little videos going around. For all we know, like, as fighters, we kind of, that's basically like our auditions. Like, we probably work with a trainer for a little bit, see if the chemistry is there. If it's not, then we go over here. So Tank probably just doing that right now. You know what I'm saying? He never came out and formally said this is my new team and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, Lamont, he just you know, enjoying the fruits of his labor. He's basically doing his little, you know, victory lap, whatever you may want to call it. But at the same time, he still got plenty of time to get back in the gym, you know, shut everything out, you know, train for his 6 to 8 weeks and get back in the ring and take again for the rematch. So I'm not really stressing it. We're in April.
Facts.
It's early April.
I agree. I really don't even to even be more specific. I don't think he changed trainers, bro. I think like it's like Jamel said, he doing his little. He going here, he going there. He probably was just cause the dude he was with Coach Mustafa. I think he be in Atlanta. Know what I mean? So he probably was just in Atlanta. Know what I'm saying? Like out there cooling out. Know what I mean? And he said, yo, let me go to the gym. I ain't got my regular trainers, so let me train with Sean. Know what I'm saying? I don't think he had to change the trainers and he locked in for the fight yet. I don't think so. Know what I'm saying? Like You know, he got mad time, son. Know what I mean?
I
But
feel like
I do think he embarrassed though. I
Yeah,
think he's
that's what I'm
embarrassed.
saying.
That's what it is. You know, he now on the internet.
Right.
Not at all. No.
Like, you know, for the longest, he supposed to knock, you know, they kept saying he supposed to knock the dude out, yada yada yada. That didn't happen. They went to a draw. Not even just that. You got a huge amount of people even saying that he potentially lost. They arguing about the knee. So, you know, it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot for him to take on right now. And he try to just probably just tune it out, stay loose, and be prepared for the rematch. You know what I mean? So you best believe that Tank going through a lot right now because even though yeah, we see Lamont getting attacked. You know, people that had high hopes for Tank in that fight probably looking like, come on, man, you got to lock in what happened, and then you got the Lamont fans attacking him like, you know, they jerked Lamont. That should have been counted as a knock. You know, all that's playing into that, man. I don't care who you are, you still human at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and listen, this is going to be the biggest fight, in my opinion, of Gervonta's life up to this point, up to biggest fight of his career.
Oh, but I told you that months ago. I was saying
you did, Jamal. You did.
I said it's mainly respecting. They both from the DMV.
Yeah.
20, 30 years from now, they're gonna talk about. Oh, I remember when B Moore fought. You know what I'm saying? DC. That's and they came up together. That's when people was like, "What can you tell Tank about Lamont?" I can't tell Tank a damn thing. Tank he knew Lamont far longer than you know. I know Lamont. He was 16 years old. Tank, he was like 7, 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? And like because I fought him, I mean, I can tell Tank any different. No, they fought each other in the amateurs. They trained together in the same gym. You just seen Lamont just say, we probably crossed the paths far more than the average fighter would outside of the fight. So, like I said, it's more of it's a respect thing, but it's more of like my reputation's on the line. At the end of the day, they're gonna say who was the best that came out of the area, and you know they're gonna have that argument that my guy really beat your guy so far. It's a like I said, it's a respect thing. Same thing with New Yorkers. Same thing with the even with the fights during the Puerto Rican Day Parade. You got two Puerto Ricans fighting or whatever. Yeah. What's it come down to? Who's the better of the two? Who's the real top dog in that? You know what I'm saying in terms of that category.
Jamal, let me ask you a question. You fought Lamont clearly, right?
Yeah.
We all know that, right? You beat him. What does he possess though? Let's be honest, because what did you believe was going to give Tank Palmer outside of him knowing him so well?
He said it in the Andre Ward fight, which I respect. He said I give him Lamont respect because he said in that interview, he said, I had the same skill sets as he does today when I fought him. So he wasn't trying to water it down or downplay. It's a mental thing. Like it's a mental thing in terms of like when you like Fat just said, ain't nobody fighting Benavidez right now, but you best believe Bivol and Bivol and Benavidez will, because you know why? Because same thing when we got 3 Canelo Golovkin in the Golovkin fights, because those guys knew each other. They were familiar. They were familiar with the style, so there was no fear of going against that style or no doubt. Like you know, I fought this guy already twice already, whatever, once, twice. I can go. I know what he's gonna do. So there was no fear factor. But when you throw a guy in the mix like you know, David Benavidez, and it's like, yo, I'm not like I know him, but I don't know him. So it's a lot of cautionary, you know, to be, you know, saying to look at it and going into that fight. But again, Lamont and Tank, they knew each other. Y'all seen the confidence throughout the whole build up in Lamont. People thought he was just talking. People thought he was crazy. But he went in there and put in a great performance. I wasn't really even scoring the fight, but I enjoyed just the, you know, saying the chess match and what I was seeing. You know, you rarely seen Tank get hit with a good shot where he's backed up, you know, or hesitant, things like that. And Lamont, you know, he did his thing. So I don't understand why he's getting criticized for that either. But I'm not worried about him still doing his little press tour or whatever, making his rounds. He's doing his thing. It just like I said in my tweet earlier, like, did you see it? Yeah. Well, listen, all that criticism, it don't matter. The results are in. All we can do is just wait to see what happens next.
What do you think Gervonta has to do different?
Salute, bro.
What do you think Gervonta has to do different? That's for both of y'all.
Well, I can say I can say this, right? So Jamel know them better than I do, much better than I do. Me, I know Tank. Know what I mean? I know See, I'm older than them, so I didn't come up like in the amateurs or know what I mean. Like when I came up, they were still young, but I had the privilege to train at Mayweather Gym for 4 to 5 years. So I was there when he signed Tank, and Tank was coming in, stopping everybody, and that's why I judged it off. I never really knew how good Roach was until that fight. You know what I'm saying? But I seen Tank with my own 2 eyes stop middleweights, light heavyweights. I seen it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought he was gonna stop Roach.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. I knew in my mind he was gonna stop Roach. But you know how you see things in a rearview mirror and you look back. I seen the respect that he had for Roach. So I knew that he knew it wasn't gonna be what I thought it was gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like Jamel said, go from them knowing each other. You know what I'm saying? Them knowing each other and them knowing he knew I can't just walk through this kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that how I be doing with these other dudes. You know what I'm saying? I think in a rematch, to be honest, I think Tank gonna be a little more dominant, but I don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park still, bro. I think Roach is just a hell of a fighter.
I feel like, and this is my opinion, I feel like Tank can't do what he usually does in terms of waiting and trying to just wait for that KO, because I don't even know if he believes he can knock out Lamont Roach anymore. So I feel like he's gonna have to be aggressive early in the rounds and take early rounds and not just wait on the knockout. And I think that's his mistake against Lamont Roach, kind of waiting on that one punch and not being as active. He started getting more active towards the later rounds, and by then Lamont was already in rhythm. Lamont was catching him. And
how many times you watched the fight, Nog?
Twice.
I watched it probably 3 times, and every time I watched it, it got better and better.
Oh, it's a good fight. Great fight.
It was a hell of a fight, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a very good fight, bro.
I mean, I ain't going from the rematch. I still got it a 50-50. I don't know who to pick in the rematch, to be honest with you.
Like I said, like I told you before, bro, it's like one of those things where, like, remember Manny Pacquiao was knocking at everybody, but every time he kept coming across Marquez, he had to pull out boxing skills. He couldn't rely on just the power of Manny Pacquiao. That's how I look at some of these fights. Sometimes, like that's what they always say: styles make fights, man. Styles make fights.
Yeah,
and he's got one of those styles in terms of for Tank style that might give him fits or whatever. But it doesn't diminish that nothing from Tank's skill set or Lamont's skill set. It's just the style wise, it clashes for a good fight. The same way we got, we got 5 Pacquiao Marquez fights, and they were all good fights. But when you see them fight other people, they were either one-sided, blowing them out, or whatever. It just, it's just how boxing is at times.
And I look forward to the fight. They said it's supposed to happen June 21st. I don't know if it's locked in, but I'm expecting Tank to jump on him early or try to jump on him early.
Nah, it won't be smart. That won't be smart.
You don't think so?
I think Tank gotta still be Tank. Tank just gotta just add a little bit more to it, and like I said, just a little bit more activity, in them early rounds. Because like I said, he probably, like a lot of us probably felt that he won a lot of those the rounds down the stretch. But like I said it before. I said the only issue I had with Lamont, even when I fought him, is that he was a slow starter as well. And if you watch the fight, I I picked up a lot of those, a lot of those rounds in the beginning of that fight. And then, he hit me with a good shot in 11th, but by then, the fight over with. And so you could basically say to the both of them, like, they just got to pick up a lot early and be a little bit more active. Because, again, when you look at the punch stats, Lamont was a lot busier in terms of punch, but, the amount of punches landing to those was pretty close.
Yeah.
So, like, if anything, Tank can just look at everything around that and just say, I need to pick up my activity a little bit more in the next fight. I don't think he needs to be more aggressive and try to jump on him because, again, Lamont is a technical fighter and a counter puncher. So if you create the more aggressive you are, you create openings.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a big mistake, bro. To come in there and try to jump on Roach, because for one, Tank is a slow starter too. Yeah. Just like Roach. You know what I'm saying? Tank normally give up the first 3-4 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
He can't do that against Lamont in the second fight though.
Pick it up a little bit more active.
Yeah, just a little more. That's a fact. He gotta be strategic, bro, because it's obvious he cannot do the Roach what he do to these other dudes. He can't do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? When somebody got your number, and that's why I feel like Jamel's saying, when somebody got your number and they just know what the hell you gonna do? You just can't do what you normally do, bro.
And
You
you
gotta
know,
find.
people are irritated and feeling some type of way towards Lamont because you gotta understand also how many take opponents have you seen after the fight go out here and do this much talking to everybody out there?
Right.
You know, they're not used to
Right.
that. They're used to seeing guys crumple, fold in the ring, and then
Yeah.
Disappear. Yep.
you know, they not used. They can't like listen. I'm like, why y'all attacking him? Y'all was attacking him, saying he was a bum. He was gonna get knocked out.
Yeah.
But when he does well, y'all mad at him because
Yeah.
you know look good in the, he looked good in the fight.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I like him. I'm not mad at him.
Fact.
I'm just like, damn, so he really, every time I turn around, he's on another show. I'm like, damn, so he really loving this shit right now.
We're not used to seeing that. Every time you see it, every time you see, listen, Tank usually, let's be real, he usually fuck up careers afterwards.
Absolutely.
I ain't seen my man Leo Santa Cruz since that fight.
Yeah.
You know,
Rolly ain't been the same.
Rolly ain't been the same. You know, Ryan, he's still out there, but it's not. It don't have that same effect. Even though he got a lot of things, even though he got a lot of other things behind him, but like it don't have that same effect when you got a Ryan Garcia. Like I said, Tank usually fuck shit up and keep it moving. He couldn't do that with Lamont, and the people used to that. People,
I'll tell you this, man. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Gervonta. This is going to be his biggest fight, probably of his career, just for the fact that for the first time he's really faced adversity. This is the biggest adversity he's ever faced. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Let's move forward to the next topic. A friend of yours, you know, you was in the Olympics, right? Olympic trials, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Clarissa Shields comes out, and it seems like MVP and Clarissa Shields have made nice, right?
Hey, you know I'm gonna get on you right there, bro. What I tell you though, it's nothing's official. What I say, eventually money talks. If they start talking that money, look, you got my manager email. Money always talks. I don't care what you say. You at one point in time, Canelo was never gonna work with this. When that money started talking, hey, he the best. He one of the best promote. Money always gonna talk. Like I said, it gotta make sense. It's a business. It gotta make sense. I don't care. Listen. Eddie Hearn can curse me out 100 times, but if he offer that right bag, we'll make nice and for whatever, how many fights, and then go on our separate ways. But like I don't like
I love this for Clarissa, right? Because I feel like Jake Paul, and I hate when people shit on Jake Paul.
My bad, no, but nothing. That's what I got it from. You had put a post out on Instagram, and where I said I hate that. You know what I'm saying? Clarissa is, you know, arguing with them, but I said, listen, who knows? Nothing's ever guaranteed. Who knows? One day they can all come together if they speak the right language.
No, and not only that, like to give credit to Jake Paul, there hasn't been a individual that's been as influential such a short a time with women's boxing, right? Bringing Amanda Serrano, signing 3 major fighters and ladies, now getting Alicia Baumgartner, making Amanda the president or whatever, a lifetime contract where she's with the females. I think it makes sense. And now we could get Alicia Baumgartner versus Clarissa. We could possibly get some of these bigger fights. So I'm super hyped for that. I'm not even gonna cap, bro. Like I'm happy for Clarissa. What fights?
I wasn't surprised. I'm not surprised by that. And I'm just seeing that, but I'm not surprised by it because again, people, like I said, it's a business, it's a sport. Nothing, you know what I'm saying? We thought, even though it took forever, we thought we'd never see the Manny Pacquiao Floyd fight or whatever. And so things, and it's like if you speak the right terms to fighters, they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying fold, but they're gonna, you know, be reasonable, you know, and at least come to the table. At one point in time, you couldn't even get Clarissa and Jake in the same room. You know what I mean? But at least you know, talking about, you know what I'm saying, coming to the table, you can't be mad at that.
And it's crazy because her and Jake have a lot of similarities in how they attack people online. Like they are very like unfiltered. They say what it is. And again, I think people don't give Jake enough credit for what he's doing for women's boxing. And Clarissa needs to be a part of that. She's the best female in the world. Period. I don't think it's an argument.
If he can get all those females like with the names out there, I mean, and I even seen them, like I don't know if it's a real tweet or not, but I seen he signed more, you know, other you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he signed 3 fighters.
Like Metcalf, and so he's giving opportunities. he's helping. You can say what you want about his career. Like say, you say whatever you want about his boxing career, but again, in terms of the business side, I respect that he's putting money in these women's pockets. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. It's like I said, that's all that really matters to me. That he's putting money in their pockets, and he's making, you know what I'm saying, he's making good fights amongst these female fighters. So if you hating on that, then you're the problem. You know what I mean?
But let me ask you a question. So, you know, Baumgartner, of course, is a 130-pound fighter. Then you have Serrano, of course. She's light. Are those fights even possible with her coming down for 175? Because I know there's another fight they want to do a rematch, but are those fights possible? Because those are the biggest fights, period.
No. Possible against who?
Clarissa versus Baumgartner.
Obviously, you know, the weight class is gonna be the issue, but obviously like Flash said, that bread, they offering something that women never even seen before. I'm pretty sure somebody gonna be like, yo, I can go to the gym and bulk up a bit, and you know what I'm saying, yada yada yada.
She says she wants 2 ringside seats to see pretty much at the Garden what they've built. A rumor has it that the purse last time was 13 million. It's going up to over 20 million in between both females. Can you imagine a Clarissa Shields Baumgartner fight?
Better than a lot of these dudes. Let's be real. Better than a lot of us male fighters. A lot of male fighters barely see the, you know what I'm saying, a good high 6-figure payday.
Yeah.
Be real. They gotta, like, again. And yeah, look at that also. If he's doing that for women, of course, you probably got some dudes looking like, yo, I need to rethink my whole career. Like he connected. No offense to my ladies, that there's nothing, but like we gotta be honest, be real how the sport of boxing is today. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's a male dominated sport. Usually males are getting paid, you know what I'm saying, top dollar over our female fighters. Even if the female fighters are far well known, you know what I'm saying, fight out there, a lot of these guys are still getting paid more than them. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys looking at them numbers too, like, yo, why am I over here? And you know, Jake is putting them on different platforms. You know, his platform is a crazy platform alone. So he's introducing you to a new fan base and so forth.
Yeah. No, she said they bring out all the stars. Papoose gonna be there. Come on, man. You know, Remy, my homegirl, chill. But I mean, it's
we already know Remy, your girl, so we already.
Nah, I mean, yo, bro, like, I want to go to that fight. I ain't even gonna cap. Like, that shit is gonna be crazy.
Yo, us New Yorkers, we love a good time. We put aside some differences for a good time. We're like, yo, if it's gonna be out there, shit, I might want to go to the damn fight if we like to go see what they doing out there. Shit, I might be at there ringside with Clarissa. Shit, like, but we want to go see a good time. Like, you want to? We like to be part. We like to be a part of a good event, even if we're not in the show. We like to say, hey, we was there. We were there.
Thanks.
I'm about to go pull up on Jake Paul in a little while because they got the press conference today.
Oh, it's today. It's today, yeah.
Today, I'm gonna pull up. Huh?
I will pull up too. Like, that's what
I'm
saying.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? I faced scrutiny because when he was fighting Mike Tyson, I was a sparring partner, bro. Know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to be out there, to spend time with Jake Paul, to see his work ethic. And when I came back telling everybody he trains hard, and he put that work in, everybody like, yo, that fight was fake. I'm like, yo, bro, the dude trains. I train with him in his camp, bro. He trains hard and he pays better than anybody that I ever sparred with in my life, bro. And this is the mentality he have. His whole team, he take care of them. Know what I'm saying? All the women that he signed, he take care of them. He do the right thing by people, bro. Know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised that he's doing all these things.
Flat, you gotta understand. I'm not, you know what I'm saying everyone, but some of these promoters, managers, and whoever, they're still living in the past where they want to backdoor fighters and shit. That Jake, like I said, Jake just treat people good. Like I said earlier, when we was my Edgar and these promoters, some of the promoters today, their whole thing is, I'm trying to save as much money instead of putting it in the pot. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, hey, if you not, I'm not about to lose money trying to prove something that, oh, you should be a pay-per-view star. Nah, I gotta say, and a lot of promoters like that. I gotta say
the old school way though, Jamel. They gotta change that because now it's dudes.
But that's what people like Jake for us. But you got people like Turkey Alex. You You know what I'm saying? Like boxing is
Yeah.
like anything. Everything grows with time. It's just like you look
Fact,
at
fact,
the NBA,
fact.
everything, every other sport had to grow with change and time. So like it's like you have to have that revolutionary point in every sport. You know, where you know it might feel like it's abnormal or whatever, but over time, if it becomes the norm, things start to evolve and pick up from there. So you got to keep it up.
Bro, I've heard rumors of Jake, all the fighters on his purse giving him an extra 100 bands, 70, 80
He
bands.
do that,
Out of
bro.
his
He
pocket,
do
bro.
that.
Who's doing that? That's
He do that, bro.
crazy.
Yo, bro, I was just a sparring partner. He paid me astronomical numbers, bro. Compared to I done been in camp with everybody, bro. Everybody from 160 up that you can name, Caleb Plants, Canelos, the Benavidez. Yo, bro, those guys take care of you too. Don't get me wrong. But Jake Paul, bro, listen,
I'm
he
saying, I heard. Listen, I heard he take care of fighters on the sparring side to where you can joke about it, but you can actually live off being a
I'm
damn sparring partner.
bro,
Yeah, facts.
bro, bro, no cap,
They getting paid better than some of the purses they making in their own
no
real
cap,
fights. I was
Yeah.
told.
I
no
mean,
cap.
people need to stop knocking Jake, bro. And I said this. I remember I called you, Jamal, about this, and I said, like, I think it was a month ago. I was like, he's gonna end up in the Boxing Hall of Fame, and people were laughing at me when I said that. And I seen other people jack what I was saying now, but what he's doing as a promoter is insane.
They forget that there's different categories when you say that the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Like I said, you can say whatever you want. Y'all entitled to that. Whatever y'all want about his personal career in the ring, but you got to look at his character and the things he's doing outside the ring as well, and be like, you know what? Okay, he a stand-up guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he gets it. He knows how to promote, or he knows how to, you know what I'm saying? He knows how to push a fighter and so forth. So like I said, I don't have to, you know what I'm saying, agree with who he fights, whatever. Okay, that's his right. But at the same time, people still tuning in. He's still doing numbers. Like I said, if you look at it, like who was thinking Netflix? You know what I'm saying? He's bringing a lot of attention to Netflix. When Netflix is doing live events. I mean, it was
Crazy.
him. Then you see the WWE doing things like TKO. You know what I'm saying? They doing things over there with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He's changing the platform again. Like I said, I don't have to like his box score or agree with it, but at the same time, I can respect, you know what I'm saying, why he's doing it, what, you know, and what he's accomplished. And like I said, I said before. And even in terms of his own boxing skill, I said that he's gotten a lot better from when he first
100%.
on a pair of gloves to where he's at today.
Yeah, I mean, for a non quote unquote boxer, let's just say, right, he really has impacted boxing to a whole nother level. I mean,
Facts.
Netflix, 71 million people tuned in to see him and Mike Tyson is crazy.
Look at the whole, you gotta look at the whole, whatever you want to call it, YouTube fighters or misfits and all that. That's a trend because of the shit that he was doing.
Yep.
And they got their own little platform and base. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, like I said again, if it make him money and put piece and brings viewership, then it is what it is. And you know what I'm saying? You decide if you want to tune in or not at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he, you know, he has a vision, you know, especially what he's doing with these women right now. Now it's like 50 women that are fire. Before it was like 2, 3.
Like I said, besides, you know what I'm saying, we seen him 2 weeks now. He signed a bulk of fighters, female fighters, a bulk of them. And then I just seen him recently. I seen another good amount of bulk of female fighters. At one point in time, I thought it looked like Eddie Hearn was the leader of you know what I'm saying, women's boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, top rank, pick up a couple of female fighters here. Golden Bush had the Golden Boy. They got a good little stable of female fighters over there as well. But like you see, like Jake is really putting a real emphasis on pushing them and promoting them, and not just.
Yo, Jamel, it's like you said, they trying to save money. Jake, know what I mean? Jake paying astronomical numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's different. Anybody that talk about him, bro.
Jake, though, y'all listen to the fact he actually been in the camp. So like I said, y'all gotta take him on what he's saying. And this is just sparring. This is just sparring. This ain't even talking about the real fight. This is just sparring he's speaking on. So like I said, you gotta take his word over it.
They put me in that misfit shit too. Know what I mean? So because I ain't get to achieve the things that guys like you did, Jamel. Know what I'm saying? Like I basically made a career of being a sparring partner. Had some pro fights, won them, but I didn't get to that top level, but they talking about putting me in the misfits, and I'm like, first I
What is
laughed
that?
at
What
the
is the misfit?
idea.
What is that?
Then when they told me how much they paying, bro, I said, yeah,
That's
I'm with it.
what I just tell you the other day, Norman was talking about even with
the bare knuckle shit. Yeah.
all that. Yo, listen, you gotta understand, like people like me and Flat, then we're fighters. We're fighters. That's what we do. No, I'm not saying we can't do anything else, but that's just what we do. You know what I'm saying? But if you can, I don't knock any man that can make a living and take care of himself and his family at the end of the day. I don't care how he get it. If he get it and he make an honest living off it, then rather doing something crazy out there in the streets, I'm all for it.
Real talk.
Oh, what is the misfits, by the way? I don't even know what that is.
Like the YouTube, like, you know what I'm saying? Like all those guys, like basically like that, but they got their own thing. They got their own thing.
So really, it's KSI. KSI is the head of it. You know what I'm saying? They do all their shows mostly out in the UK, but they do some things here too in the States too. But it's basically YouTubers. They grabbed up a couple fighters that didn't get to that level. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it's appealing, bro. Once my man Jay Leon, shout to him. He put me on. You know what I'm saying? Good dude.
I ain't gonna front though. Jamel is foul. Jamel ain't shit. I'm gonna tell you why Jamel ain't shit. Jamel ain't shit, bro. He talking about going to do bare knuckle fighting and whipping these cats' ass, bro.
It's like what Flash said though. They throwing out bags.
Bags, bro.
You gotta understand. Most of us fighters, we came up in the streets fighting. You know what I'm saying, for free.
Real talk.
Yo,
Austin Trout did it.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. Yo, he crazy.
Shout out to my man Austin Trout. You see, I'm looking at Austin. I'm saying like, yo, he really just sparring these dudes.
Easy.
Dubai doing this. Yo,
Jamel, you would do that though, bro?
Bro,
they gave me a call.
Put him on, son.
They gave me I'm just saying. I said they gave me a call. That's what I'm saying. They gave me like, yo,
you considered it though.
Yo, listen, these hands are rated for everybody.
Right.
At the end of the day, like. I'm just saying, there's no guarantees, but they talking about purses where I was making as a world champion. So you know what I'm saying? And you fighting guys that's really coming straight forward, don't have no real boxing experience behind them. You gotta outweigh, of course.
It's sparring, bro.
Of course, is taking care of your damn hands, of course. But I'm like, yo, they throwing out purses I was basically making when I fought Lamont. This one, that one, you know what I'm saying, and then it grows. Like any other sport, the more you win, man, what? I'm gonna sit down for that conversation.
Jamel is foul, bro. Like that shit is hilarious. When he told me that shit, I said, bro.
Yo, I did 3 minute 12 rounds. I know I can. I'm pretty sure I could do 2 minute 5 rounds, yo.
Easy. Yo, no, you can't blame him, bro.
He told me, I was dying laughing because I'm like, bro. You a great fighter, bro. Like that's unfair.
Last night they still trying to iron some things out and so forth. I'm like, yo, just keep me posted. Y'all want we sit down and meet with the owner David, yada yada yada.
Yo, you know what's the funny thing though, bro? Them dudes, they mostly MMA fighters and
that's what I'm saying.
But they'll really look at you, champ, and think they could beat you. This ain't no handicap. They really feel they could win, bro.
Who? Out.
Out.
Yo, if you do, I bet I'm there, so I want to be ringside for that shit because you're hilarious, bro.
Go ahead and charge face forward if you want without using the angle.
That's crazy, bro.
I promise you. Go ahead and try it.
Bro, they pay it like that. I got one more before we go, dog. And I know you guys got, y'all busy. Yo, you better put me on a J. I want some media passes for that event, nigga. You be playing, bro. Hold on. My man right here, Real Tito Mercado, already know we got Cambosis fighting Africa, you know what I'm saying, Richard Hitchens. And Mercado wants smoke with everybody, period. What y'all think first about this Cambosis versus Richard Hitchens?
It's a stay busy. No knock. It's a stay busy. That's what it is. It's fighting in New York, right? It's like
is it in New York?
In the Garden, yeah.
It's pretty much it's like a victory. It's a homecoming. Still a victory lap for Rich winning his belt.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about you know what I'm saying, my man over here, but Cambosos, but it seems like he stays in the money making fights at the end of the day. He making his living. I'm not mad at it. I wish I had the same luck as he does in some of these cases. Like he making his money.
you know, you know what I like about Kambosos? People can say whatever they want about him, bro. He don't duck no smoke, bro.
Nah.
Like he's with it. He'll go to Australia, come to New York, he'll do whatever. I mean, listen, Richardson Hitchens, he's trying to kick the door down. He's fighting somebody that was in the ring with Lomachenko, Devin Haney, and Teofimo. You know, he wants Teofimo. It's a big name. I think, like you said, I think it's bigger than to just stay busy. I think it's more of a we need him to get more notoriety. Kambosos is a big name, and I like Hitchens, man.
It's the promoter building the fighter's profile as a world champion. That's how it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, I had similarities when I fought Lamont Roach, even though it wasn't in New York. It was around American holiday. Me being a veteran, you know, and we was building the military fan base. We did it out there in Cali and so forth. You know what I mean? It was just on paper look like a tougher fight because again at that point in time Lamont was undefeated. But like Flat said, like y'all both said, George ain't don't be ducking no smoke. You know, you call him out, he's gonna respond, and he talks his way. You can say he talks his way into big fights, and I'm not mad at it.
I was talking to Eric Roman Sr., who was a former trainer.
That's my guy.
Yeah,
and he told me, and I thought this was interesting. He was talking about Africa. He was like, he don't make mistakes. He said that's what makes him special, that he doesn't make mistakes. What do you like about Richardson Hitchens?
He stuck to the game plan when he fought my man in his last fight. When he fought yeah. Liam a dangerous dude. I sparred Liam a lot, you know what I'm saying, in one of my camps. He a dangerous guy. He helped me when I made my comeback when I fought in New York. You know, he helped me in that camp. So you know what I'm saying? But Rich, he was composed. He didn't fold under the pressure. He stuck to his, you know what I'm saying, he stuck to his game plan and he did what he had to do. So yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm in the gym every day with Africa, man.
Yeah.
He different, bro. And I told him this from since he was a little kid, bro. He remind me of Floyd, not Pretty Boy Floyd, but Money Mayweather when he got older, because he real calm. Now I mean he real tactical. He never put himself. That's why it's like he said he don't make no mistakes because he don't put himself in a position to really make no mistakes. Now I'm saying like. And he's able to execute with that style. I really don't see the only way I see one of them guys beating him is if he do like he did in one of his prior fights with the short guy when he tried to like slug it out. Know what I'm saying? Which in fights you do gotta be more than one dimensional. Now I'm saying you gotta do different things, but I felt like he was slugging it out too much and he got caught with a couple of shots that he didn't have to get caught with. And I feel like that's the only way that I see any chink in his armor, bro. Because when you talk about pure boxing skills, bro, his jab is like a laser. He don't got power. He don't really hit hard. Now I'm saying like, but he's a perfectionist as far as a boxer, bro. Now I'm saying so. I think he gonna beat Kambosos easy. Now I'm saying like. And he hungry too. That's another thing. He's hungry. He want to prove that he belong up there with the other big names. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't mention him. They don't never mention him. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he got something to prove. Like I said, I'm in the gym with him every day. He's on beast mode, bro. You know what I mean? Beast mode.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm gonna let y'all rock out. I appreciate y'all. Let me know how the press conference goes. You know,
Got you, bro.
Yo, send me the info where I gotta apply for the credentials. I definitely want to go to that fight for that minute Toronto fight.
I bet, yo, Jamel, I'm gonna holler at you too with that bare knuckle because they talk. I talked to them too. If you get into it, bro, I might get into it with you, bro.
They coming for everybody, yo.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, they been on me too, bro.
Cause no, you already know what's gonna go there.
Yo, they paying that bread, son.
Dog. That shit are like bar fights against professionals, bro. Y'all crazy.
That's what it is. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, these dogs. But I'm gonna let y'all rock out, man. I appreciate y'all.
All right,
Jamel Henry. Appreciate both of y'all. We out of here, y'all.